We've all been through this. No matter how hard you tried, once, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, it just wouldn't work out. So, on the 1,001st time, you decided to give up. You went to a park and stayed there for a few hours, treated yourself with some nice food, and went to bed early. Then, in the middle of your dream, you got the answer. Yes, you got it, and you remembered it. When you woke up, you tried again, and this time it worked. But how did this happen? We can explain it scientifically. When you relax and stop pushing, your brain shifts into diffuse mode, which allows your subconscious processes to work. During sleep, especially in REM phases, your brain reorganizes information, strengthens useful connections, and sometimes forms new ones. The aha experience is your subconscious, presenting the solution your conscious mind couldn't force into place. You remember it because you had been primed so strongly before sleep. Now you may ask, does this mean we can do nothing but still achieve something? The answer is yes. Many great ideas come from unexpected moments of rest. Here are a few of the most famous. Mendeleev was trying to organize chemical elements. After 3 sleepless days, he fell asleep at his desk. In his dream, he saw all the elements arranged in a table. He woke up and wrote it down, creating the framework for the periodic table of elements, which predicted elements not yet known. Paul McCartney was looking for new melodies. One morning, he woke up with a tune fully formed in his head. At first, he thought it was something he had heard before and accidentally copied. He played it to others, asking, "Have you heard this before?" Nope, it was original. That melody became Yesterday, one of the most famous songs in history. Mary Shelley was vacationing near Lake Geneva with Percy Shelley and Lord Byron when Byron challenged everyone to write a ghost story. One night after hearing discussions on galvanism and reanimation, she had a vivid waking dream of a scientist creating life and recoiling in horror at his creation. This became the seed of Frankenstein, one of the most influential novels in literature. But where did all these great ideas come from? Of course, you can attribute them to your subconscious. Or according to Ramanujan, his family's goddess Namagiri Thayar. The self-taught math genius believed that formulas were revealed to him in dreams, and he simply recorded them. He once said, an equation had no meaning for him unless it expressed a thought of God. What is a thought of God? God says, "Let there be light," so there is light. The thought of God is the thought of creating everything. When we give up human endeavor, God shows up and helps us. The problem is, we worship hard work too much. Only when hard work fails do we let go, and when we let go, we gain enlightenment. The best example of this is Neil Donald Walsh and his famous series, Conversations with God. At rock bottom, frustrated and angry with life, Walsh wrote a letter to God, pouring out his pain and demanding answers. What does it take to make life work? To his surprise, he felt answers coming through his pen. He described it as if an inner voice was speaking back to him. You could say it's his subconscious, or his inner God. Either way, all he had to do was ask questions and take notes, and it worked. The series changed Walsh's life, and millions of others. What changes our lives is not blindfolded hard work, but that rare moment of awakening. It is like a lantern, showing you where your effort should go. So why not give God some space? After all, if we are always filling life with noise and struggle, how can the whisper of inner wisdom reach us? Now you might argue, I'm just an ordinary person, not a monk, not a scientist, not a musician, nor a writer. What I need is not a flash of inspiration, but a way to change my everyday life in real and practical terms. All right, you want to change your life, but first, let's take a good, hard look at it. You said you're an average person, so I'm going to guess you have a 9-to-5 job. Every day you spend anywhere from 1 to 3 hours on your commute. You're out the door by 7 a.m. and won't get back until 6 p.m. Now you're home. You drop your car keys on the kitchen counter and look around your living room. It's not the cleanest, not the fanciest, but it's cozy. It's your little den. Outside, it's getting darker and you are tired. You don't feel like doing anything. But what's the next thing you do? You flick on the TV, sink into the couch, and start scrolling through TikTok while binge-watching the latest series. At the same time, you're browsing for pizza delivery because there's no way you're cooking tonight. The food takes over an hour to arrive. You're not even hungry anymore, but you force down a few slices anyway. You spend a couple more hours just lying there before finally dragging yourself to the shower. This is it, the one moment of peace. Your brain finally quiets down. You get dressed, and for that last hour before bed, you do a few chores around the house. Then you crawl into bed, spend about 20 minutes reading a book you think will change your life before turning off the lights and going to sleep. So, basically, you spend 5 hours on things that won't change your life and 20 minutes on the one thing that could. All right, let's rewind. You're home, you're tired, you don't want to do anything. Perfect. Don't do anything. Don't turn on the TV. Don't scroll through TikTok. If you're hungry, grab a bite. But other than that, do nothing. What you're going to discover is that you can't stand it. You can't stand doing nothing. You won't last an hour. In fact, you probably won't make it half an hour, maybe not even 20 minutes. You will experience a fear called drama deprivation. It's like you're an actor on a movie set, but instead of acting, you just sit on a bench. Your mind will flash with a million thoughts, reminding you that you could watch TV, you could be on TikTok, you could call your parents, hang out with your friends, or even read that book, but do nothing. Gradually, the storm in your brain stops. You see your past, an endless loop of the same old day, over and over again. You want to scream. Why the hell did I do all that? Did it make me a better person? Nope. Did it make me calmer? Nope. Then why did I do all that? You think for a long, long time, and you realize you have no reason at all. You just couldn't stand doing nothing, because the moment you stop, you have to face the life right in front of you, and you have no idea who created it. The answer is obvious. It was you. But you don't know how you created this life. It's like you've been sleepwalking while a simulation of you is living your life in your place. Doesn't that sound familiar? Now you want to wake up and change. It's time to read those life-changing books. Nope, that's still your brain tricking you into doing something. To keep you occupied, it's even willing to let you get better. The only thing you need to do is do nothing. Like a yogi, you sit down, you observe, and listen. You move past the surface of your conscious mind, the part ruled by logic and reason, and enter the subconscious. All around you, there is only darkness. Do nothing. Stay there. If you feel a gentle sense of pleasure, that's good. If you feel nothing at all, that's okay too. You open your eyes again. Half an hour has passed. You take a shower, do your chores, and lie down in bed. You don't read the book. You just stare at the ceiling, and you find yourself in a state of calmness. You never knew life could be this peaceful. The next day, you wake up earlier than usual. The commute is quiet. You don't play the radio you normally would. You get to the office and you focus on your work. You carefully observe how you feel about this job. Like it or hate it? Does it match my career expectations? You listen to the information your boss shares in the meeting and learn from it. Your colleagues tell you you're easier to be around, that you seem a little more mature. You find the day flies by. You get home, and you don't turn on the TV. You sit down, open a notebook, and write down, who do I want to become? What do I want to do in this life? Perhaps you don't know who you want to become. That's normal. But whatever the answer is, an average person no longer seems to be an option. Being average is just an excuse you make for your life. You're surprised by your own words and feel a strange disconnect from your old patterns. In your notebook, you scribble, I want to start a side hustle, and then you do nothing. Just remain present and align with it. Before bed, you visualize what it would feel like to have a successful side business. You fall asleep in a vision that makes you smile. For the next few weeks, months, or even years, you do nothing about it. Of course, you do your job and you do it well. You've gained insights into your industry and saved some money. You even start working out again, and you have more energy than before. You talk to your boss more often, who gives you a lot of advice. Then one day, while you're making coffee, an idea strikes you. What if I do this? You pour yourself into this new venture. You discover that you've already learned the knowledge needed to do this over the past few years, and you also have enough initial capital. Everything is ready, yet you seem to have done nothing. That aha moment changes your life.